Welcome to the deep dive. This week, we're doing something a bit different, kind of interesting, actually. We're digging into a personal This Week in Review post. It's dated May 11th, 2025, like a snapshot of someone's week.
Exactly. And it's pretty detailed. We've got everything from sleep, diet, um, coding, gardening, even fish-keeping thoughts.
Yeah, a really wide range. Health, mindfulness, cooking, decluttering, reading, those coding contributions you mentioned, writing, fish, gardening, photography. It's all in there.
Quite a lot to juggle in one week.
It is. So our mission today is basically to pull out the key bits, the insights, maybe see where things are heading for this person.
Like a shortcut to understanding their progress and what they're aiming for just based on this 1 week.
Precisely. Okay, so let's jump in. Health seems like a good place to start.
Yeah, first thing, the sleep. It averages 8.14 hours, which sounds pretty good.
Or on the surface, yeah.
But it's inconsistent. The range is like 7 to 9 hours, and there's this one day with a really long 4-hour nap after dinner, split sleep.
Huh. So the total hours are there 57 for the week, but the pattern's a bit off.
Exactly. And our bodies, they tend to prefer regularity. That inconsistency can mess with things, even if the total number looks okay.
That's a great point. Rhythm matters, not just the amount. Okay, what about activity?
Steps average 5,815 daily. The total was 40,707 for the week.
Which is slightly down from the week before, the post says.
Right. But the daily numbers between about 4,000 and 7,500, they seem fairly stable day to day. Consistent effort, even with the range.
Okay. And how does that connect to weight?
Well, the weight was pretty stable, too, actually. Slight downward trend, 68.75 kilos, down to the 68.20.
It's a small drop.
Yeah, about half a kilo. But what's interesting is this dip down to 67.85 kilos on one day, and the note links it to that off-sleep schedule.
Ah, see, there's that connection again, sleep impacting weight.
It really highlights how it's all, intertwined. The week's average weight was 68.39 kilograms, for reference.
Good to have that baseline. Okay, diet. What did we say there?
A consistent ratio of plants, protein, carbs. Either 1.1.2 or 1.2.2. Seems like higher carbs.
And it mentions noodles being a big factor, even though they're cooking at home.
Yeah. But importantly, there's a clear intention stated. Eat more vegetables and fruit.
So the awareness is there. Making it happen is the next step, maybe.
That's often the way, isn't it? The desire's there. Maybe keeping pre-cut veg handy could help. Or just adding a simple side salad to those noodle meals, since quick cooking seems key.
That sounds practical. And workouts.
Consistent but short, like 6 or 7 minute workouts, plus light walks, socializing, gardening, chores. It all counts.
It does. A good reminder that movement isn't just formal exercise. Everyday stuff adds up.
Okay, let's shift gears. Meditation.
Yeah, mindfulness. Regular 10-breath sessions were mentioned, focusing on 3 steps.
It says nothing particular about them, but the regularity itself is something.
Absolutely. Just doing it consistently is huge for building that habit. The 3 steps might be, in-breath, pause, out-breath, or something similar. But yeah, consistency is key. And walking meditation, too.
Yeah, 1 to 5 minutes, often folded into other activities like walks after meals or even raking leaves.
That's a nice way to integrate it rather than it being this separate, formal thing always.
And interestingly, the feeling described was rather chill and stoic. They linked it to a long weekend holiday.
Oh, right. So the external environment, the break, kind of influencing the internal state.
Yeah, leading to that sense of calm is a subtle illustration of that connection.
That is interesting. Okay, cooking. What was the focus there?
Efficiency, it seems. Fast, effective veg prep, mostly with instant noodles, tofu, eggs. Practicality looks like the main driver.
Makes sense for a busy week.
Totally. And there's an intention noted to look into microwave egg recipes, just to, mix things up a bit with the egg prep.
Small, achievable goal. I like that. What about decluttering? Always a relatable topic.
Yes. The approach mentioned is one item on the way to the kitchen.
Oh, I've heard of that one. Small steps.
Exactly. And it seems focused on gardening stuff in the garage this week, specifically like disinfecting old seedling soil. Very targeted.
That's manageable. But what about the workspace?
Well, some progress on paperwork, but it notes no action on getting replacement curtains or tackling a neglected drawer.
Right. So some areas are easier to tackle than others, maybe? Some clutter just sticks around?
Seems that way. Different challenges for different types of clutter.
Definitely feel that. Okay, reading.
Right. There's a specific title mentioned, YO, which is like guidelines for controlling blood pressure, blood sugar, blood lipids.
Sounds important health-wise.
It does. But the note says nothing on this yet. So an intention that hasn't quite translated to action this week.
Happens to the best of us. Important stuff sometimes gets pushed aside.
Yeah. And it also mentions still browsing fiction titles sometimes. So reading for relaxation or escape is still happening.
Okay. Now, coding. This looked interesting.
Yeah, daily contributions, PRs, pull requests to GPR, maybe Go, Python, Elixir, Erlang, Rust projects, or other relevant ones.
And what kind of contributions?
Currently, it seems focused on fixing like small typos in various GitHub repositories they're interested in.
So, contributing in small but helpful ways to open source. That's
Mhm.
cool.
It is. And what really stood out to me was the caution around using suggestions from AI, from large language models, for code refactoring.
Oh, why the caution?
Well, the concern mentions is about adding unnecessary complexity or technical debt, which is a really savvy consideration in software development, thinking long-term about maintainability.
That makes sense. Not just taking the AI's word for it blindly. Okay, writing.
A strategy of 2 posts a day plus rereading old posts? It sounds like revisiting an old routine writing on different topics daily, cycling through weekly.
Structured approach. Trying to build consistency.
Yeah, and there's a mention of a new blog post idea about formatting duration in Elixir, the programming language.
So, learning, sparking writing ideas.
Exactly. Discovering something new and then wanting to write about it.
Yeah.
It feeds the practice.
Nice cycle. Okay, fish keeping. That was unexpected.
Huh, yeah. The main note there is about a yellow-blue rack. Considering repurposing it
For what?
as a seedling or seed germination rack,
Ah.
because apparently it has a specific microclimate.
Oh, clever. Using knowledge from fish tanks, controlling environments, and applying it to gardening.
Yeah, kind of neat cross-pollination of ideas. But it also notes no progress on finding the right fish or plants for some outdoor ponds, these plastic containers.
So that project's maybe on the back burner for now. Needs more research, perhaps.
Seems likely.
Mm-hmm.
Or just focusing energy elsewhere this week.
Which brings us to gardening. That seemed like a big focus.
Definitely. Lots of detail here. Extensive prep and surveys, trying to identify plants for seed germination projects.
And setting up new workspaces.
Yeah, 4 new ones on the backyard balcony, including decluttering existing plants to make space for, like, painting and building rack.
Yeah. Wow, that sounds like a significant amount of effort and planning in the garden.
It really does. It suggests a strong interest, a real investment of time there currently.
Yeah.
It's interesting how different areas get different focus levels in the same week, you know?
Yeah, reflects priorities, maybe seasonal stuff, or just what feels most engaging at the time. Okay, and finally, photography.
Just a brief note. The goal is finding the best macro lens for a mobile phone. But again, nothing on this reported for the week.
Another intention waiting for action.
Which is totally normal, right? We
Yeah.
all have things on the mental to-do list. The awareness is there. That's often the first step.
Absolutely. So let's try and wrap this up. Looking back at this whole week, this deep dive, what are the main themes or takeaways?
Well, I think what's really striking is the consistent effort across such a broad range of activities. That's impressive in itself.
Yeah, the sheer breadth is notable.
There's clearly a drive to learn, to improve in all sorts of areas: health, mindfulness, technical skills, creative stuff. But it's also clear progress isn't perfectly even.
Right, some things get more focus, more action, while others are still in the thinking or planning stage.
Exactly. A natural ebb and flow of attention, really.
Totally. And that actually leads nicely into a final thought for you, the listener. It makes you reflect, doesn't it? How do you balance your own routines, the things you do consistently, with bringing in new projects or goals?
How do you keep momentum going across different interests without feeling, spread too thin or overwhelmed?
Yeah, maybe thinking about the value of reviewing your own progress and intentions regularly, like this person did in their weekly review, maybe not quite as detailed, but that process perhaps that can help you adapt your own approach and reach your own goals over time.
Something to consider.
Definitely something to consider. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us.